What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Today, we're going over the draft recap, a post-draft recap show. But first, we got a special guest with us today, my cousin Mike. Mike, what's up, man? Can you tell us who your team is and how you doing?
Oh, you see, man, I'm a Bears fan, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing a little better
Gotcha.
after the draft. We'll get into that
Yeah,
though.
definitely will. Let's do it, y'all. All right, let's start this opening drive, shall we?
All right, everyone. The Colts, they decided to decline the fifth-year option for quarterback Anthony Richardson. Andy Reid says Patrick Mahomes, he's on track to participate in OTAs uh, slightly a little bit just after Memorial Day when they're back at there in Kansas City. DK Metcalf, he's not going to face charges in the incident with a fan last December. Metcalf was suspended the final two games for the incident. Steelers are not going to pick up the 50-year option for tackle Broderick Jones. Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton is expected to be ready for training camp after having a core muscle surgery. And Calais Campbell's back with the Ravens on a one-year deal.
Real quick, Brandon, I want to get your thoughts on the Calais Campbell signings. I know you were happy when he played with y'all.
Yeah, I like it. He's labeled as a defensive end, but I consider him more of a defensive tackle. I think he can really clog up that middle of the line to go along with Trey Hendrickson, Mike Green in his second year, Zion Young, the rookie, a couple other guys. We got Big Travis Jones there in the middle as well. Hopefully, Namde Matabike will be back. He's dealing with that neck injury that, kind of thought it could have been career ending. So, yeah, we talk about a guy that had, 6.5 sacks last year, if I'm not mistaken, with the Arizona Cardinals. He was one of their best defenders, definitely in that front seven. Um, Damn near 40 years old. I think he's going to be 40 at least by the start of the season if he's not already, but still performing at a high level on that defensive line, something that we need desperately. I am very excited to have him back and even to help groom some of the young guys again, and Travis Jones, um, Zion Young, the rookie, and Mike Green heading the year two.
Gotcha. Real quick for me, I'm happy DK Metcalf not facing charges. I wish he could have pulled him out the stands and whooped the hell out of him for a second because I always get tired of fans like yapping their mouths. And they be saying the craziest and the craziest type of things. And so I'm just glad DK Metcalf ain't facing the charges. I think he already got enough punishment getting suspended in the final two games. But yeah. Mike, you got any thoughts on any of these opening drive things?
I'm just excited to see the AFC back with a healthy Patrick Mahomes.
Uh-oh. I don't know how Brandon feel about that, but yeah, I agree with you.
I am not a Patrick Mahomes fan.
Thank you.
I like football, and football is at its best when Pat at his best.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So I
Definitely.
want to see a healthy Kansas City and see who's gonna be able to step up again with no excuse this time. Because now it's always gonna be that caveat of, oh, Pat was hurt.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
how would that division look with him back in at full strength and the
yeah,
additions they made as well. So yeah, that, and plus Denver coming off what AFC Championship run.
yeah.
Chargers still got
And Bo Nix
Justin
got
Herbert. Yeah, correct.
so now
So that division will definitely be fun to watch next year.
yeah, I'm ready to. I'm ready to see it.
All right, y'all. Let's get into this Bears draft recap, shall we? Mike, I'm gonna start you first. What are your thoughts on the Bears and who they drafted this year?
I'm pleased with the draft because it's like, as much as I hate to say Ben Johnson is kind of bringing to Detroit, Chicago. I mean, that's what he doing. Is he bolstered the defense. He made it a clear priority to make the defensive backbone stronger. Uh, he got a run block tight end. So it's like, now he's saying, okay, we're gonna have more of a physical defense. We're gonna get back to being the Bears. We're gonna get back to being the monsters of the Midway. So it's like, I'm pleased with the draft. He coming and he making the Chicago Bears have an identity, and he not trying to just build a 1 year run and then let's blow it all up again. I could tell by the draft that he actually trying to build a stability in Chicago that we desperately needed.
Gotcha. I'm gonna be honest with you. Brandon knows a little bit about this. Me and the Bears, man. Over the years, The Bears get my damn nerves, Mike. I might even gonna lie to you because, we had that lucky Hail Mary catch a couple years before. Y'all came back, beat us this past season. So and I always say this for some reason when we play the Bears, it don't matter who the running back is. Specifically when they play the Commanders, their running back he turns into Walter Payton, he turned into Gale Sayers, he turned into Matt Forte, some of the better
Cedric
running
Benson.
backs who play for the Bears. I mean, David Montgomery was killing us every time we played
The
us. I
Bears
was like,
always have good running backs, though.
that's true. No, that's true.
We
And it
always
definitely
had
showed.
good running backs. Because that's all we had was defense running the ball. I could have played quarterback.
But that's true. Because
We
it
got
definitely
one now,
shows when
though.
y'all play the Commanders. I'm like, oh, who is this guy?
That was not a lucky Hail Mary catch. That was divine intervention. That was supposed to happen, man. That was supposed to happen.
I like that. I like that.
You can't be too mad. Y'all got Jaden Daniels out the deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into Jaden Daniels, man. I'm gonna get into it. But back to y'all. I mean, it seems like the last couple years y'all get a guy or two who makes an immediate impact. Like Caleb Williams, he was kind of rusty the first year, but saw what we did the second year. You got my boy out of Michigan, the tight end, Loveland. He came on strong at the end of the year. This last coming year. What's the wide receiver that y'all got 2 years ago to Luther? Got his name.
Oh.
Well, y'all got him last year, and then the other dude.
You talking about Ron Baduze?
Yeah, Bromaduze, thank you.
Luther Burden, I think.
I'm kind of in the air about him. Some days
Really?
I love him. Other days I'll be like, why we draft this guy?
I feel you, but y'all, I mean, because what's his name? Gone, right? DJ Moore went to the
I don't know why. I do not. I don't know why. I don't know why.
But I do think
like why? And he
I think they saw.
There. It's nothing better than when you have a star wide receiver who are divas and they want to be where they're at. He was happy with the direction of the Bears. He was performing. Him and Caleb had, they kept like, why would you take that away from him? Caleb, a young quarterback. Now he is going to be in his second year in the system. So it's be like, that always plays a factor. But why not let him have his safety valve build in the system with him? Why take that away from him?
Not for long, NFL.
If nothing else, I could throw DJ the ball.
All about the money.
I think it's Romaduze. Yeah, definitely about the money.
But to me, it's like, don't get me wrong. I like Romaduze. I'm glad he a Bear. But I would never choose him over DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ.
But you don't have to pay Rome right now what you have to pay DJ Moore either. And you do have to bolster the offensive line. And you got to rebuild the defense. And that stuff costs money. And I get all that from a business standpoint. But I don't care about that. I'm a fan. So I want you to pull a New York Yankee move and just make it happen. Just pay everybody. Figure it out. Move some cap space. Do some, they know what to do. They didn't want to. But you don't. All those young quarterbacks who had a lot of success in the NFL was predicated on having a veteran wide receiver. You don't take that away from them. Even Tom had a safety button. Brought him out of retirement. Like, come on, man. The GOAT had a safety button. Why would you take the safety button away? Yeah. But, that's neither here nor there. Maybe they know something we don't know.
Yeah. But I'm saying, though, at least last 2 or 3 years, y'all will draft a guy that if he doesn't make immediate impact the first year, the second year, he's like a starter and he's doing his thing. I mean, I'm going back to Caleb Williams, Romaduze, even though he was hurt a little bit last year. Kyler Gordon, he was a few years ago. He's a defensive back. So y'all got guys. So I'm wondering if this safety you guys drafted in the first round, Dylan Tinneman, I think is how you say his name, safety out of Oregon. If he'll be that next guy who y'all draft and it's like, okay, he's an immediate impact type of guy. Because y'all defense from the Caleb rookie year to this year, I think y'all stepped up a little bit. So this probably be a good piece for y'all. Yeah. So I think this will be a good piece for y'all. Y'all usually get 1 or 2 guys in the draft each year that has an impact right away. Brandon, you got any thoughts on the Bears draft?
Yeah, man. Like Mike said, really focus on that defensive side of the ball. 4 out of the 7 draft picks were on that side. 23rd, coming off a tie for 23rd in points surrendered last season. So obviously that was going to be the point of focus. So 3 guys, you all mentioned a few of them. The safety first round out of Oregon probably was the highest ranked safety besides Caleb Downs, who went to Dallas in the first round. The corner Malik Muhammad out of Texas. Seems like he's a little bit of a ball hawk, defensive playmaker, which y'all obviously need as well. And then on the offensive side, I really like Xavier Thomas out of LSU. Just think about some of the receivers, that came out of LSU, and if he could be anything like these guys, Jettas, Brian Thomas Jr., especially in his rookie season, Jamar Chase, his entire career, Jettas again, his entire career. You know, got to have somebody to kind of step in and take that void of DJ Moore, who got traded, I believe, was to Buffalo in the Bills earlier this spring. So yeah, I'd give y'all a B plus if I had to, put a draft grade on it. I did like some of the pieces y'all made with limited picks as well. So yeah, good deal for y'all.
Definitely.
My bad, that's me. All right, everyone. This episode is brought to you by Premium CBD Health and Wellness Company. Check out their line of CBD infused products, which are a perfect after workout refill for athletes, a pain reliever for weekend warriors, and even a natural sports drink for us armchair quarterbacks. Their featured product is CBD infused honey, which is a personal favorite of mine, as well as tinctures and mint and natural flavors. They are veteran, women, and minority owned. So come get some of this sweet temptation and taste the premium difference. Use code B&E for 15% off your order. Their website is www.premium.com. And now back to our show. Ed's Commanders, they finished the 2026 draft with 6 selections. Let's hear what Ed has to think about it. I'm sure this is going to be good.
Man, hopefully this will be a good draft class for us. I do like the Sonny Styles pickup, number 7 pick, linebacker out of Ohio State. I don't like Ohio State. We all know that. Michigan guys, but, definitely excited about that one. But I just want to go back and revisit some of the history with our other draft classes this year. And hopefully we don't make the same mistakes we did in the past. I mean, let's start with 2020. Chase Young, he run rookie of the year, I believe. Defensive rookie of the year. That was good. The injuries and he was a bust after a while. Now he's moving around the league some. I want to say he's with the Saints or somebody last year, maybe San Fran, but that didn't really work out. Next year, anybody remember a linebacker named Jamin Davis? I certainly remember him. He didn't work out. 2022. Let's talk about Jahan Dotson. Had a good rookie year. I want to say he got almost 1,000 yards. Then I think he's with the Eagles right now. 2023, Emmanuel Forbes. Oh my goodness. The lasting memory I got of Emmanuel Forbes is AJ Brown torching him, and then he scored a touchdown. We see Emmanuel Forbes in the end zone, sitting on the ground, Indian style, looking sad, and AJ Brown tossed the ball in his damn lap. You don't understand how pissed I was when I saw that. And Emmanuel Forbes, I think he played the Rams last year. I don't know if he's still with them, but he was a top pick for us just 2 years ago, and now he's off the damn team. 2024 kind of got better. Jaden Daniels, Mikey Sarenstill, both these guys, immediate impacts. Some of it was luck, the kind of wins we had. Some of it was luck, but we saw the potential with Jaden Daniels. We go into this year, this past year, Jaden Daniels gets hurt a lot. The whole damn defense gets hurt, but Mikey Sarenstill, he didn't look like how he looked his rookie year. So I have major concerns going to this draft. But including the free agency, what we did in free agency, I really do like what we got with Sonny Styles. We didn't have any second round picks this year. We only have 5 picks total, which kind of, I was kind of like, what the hell? What's up with that? But what can you do? Then in the 3rd round, we picked up Antonio Williams. I'm hoping he can be an immediate playmaker for us. I don't know if he'll be like the number 2 coming out of training camp and everything like that, but I'm hoping because we definitely need more weapons for Jaden Daniels. We drafted a tight end a year or two ago, Ben Sanat. It hasn't really worked out as far as his production. Hell, just getting him on the field sometimes hasn't worked out. But I'm hoping we can get another weapon in the draft with Antonio Williams, out of Clemson. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but they say, he's fast. He's got good route running. I think he's only 5'11". But I think, if him and Jaden can work on their things in the off seasons, training camps, OTAs, and things like that, hopefully coming into this year, that's another weapon along with the free agency addition. Our tight end who came from the Titans, I believe, in Konku. I really think it can all work out. I don't want to get too much into Jaden Daniels, but please, Lord have mercy, stay healthy. Josh Connerly, a lineman we drafted last year, it was rough the beginning of the rookie year for him. He was getting his lunch taken almost every game. I'm thinking he played the Giants first hand. Brian Burns, he was giving it to him. Then you got to go into Green Bay. You saw what Micah and everybody did to Jaden Daniels. I think he twisted his ankle or hurt his knee. He getting flipped upside his damn head. Josh Connerly was getting his lunch taken that game too. So it got a little better for him towards the end of the season. I think he started, figuring things out and playing well. So I'm hoping going into year 2, Josh Connerly can do his thing out there. But going back into this draft, we drafted a guy, a center in the 6th round out of Michigan State. But hopefully, he can be a good rotational depth piece for our offensive line. I think we can improve on the offensive line. We drafted another running back. We got Bill Jakari Cross-Messer. We picked up a guy in free agency. I think it was Rashad White, I believe.
Yeah.
From the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I don't know how crowded the running back room is right now, but I feel like it's going to be a little crowded. It's going to be, first come, first serve type of who's the best out there, dog eat, dog world type of thing out there, that running back room, I think, because we got a guy out of Penn State, Katron Allen, and Ja'Cory Cross-Barrett. He was a late round pick last year. He was like a 6-7 round pick. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, I'm really happy with this number 1 pick, our first round pick, Sonny Styles. We got a linebacker who can take over for what we had last year. Y'all know how I feel about Bobby Wagner. He was a hell of a player. I sound like Floyd Mayweather. He was a hell of a player, but he was a hell of a player. He is no longer that guy anymore. And no offense to my guy, Bobby Wagner. He was a good player, but every time he would make one play, it's like, oh, Bobby Wagner, all pro, future Hall of Famer. They don't see him, trailing the guy 20 yards down the field because he caught the ball on him and he too damn slow to keep up. Or, he making a tackle on first down. It's 2nd and 2. They talk, oh, great tackle by Bobby Wagner. It's 2nd and 2. Who cares? It's a great damn tackle. They got 8 yards on the damn play. Our defense was atrocious last year. Along with the free agency additions we picked up, we got a lot of guys on the D-line. Now we got Sonny Styles coming in. We did draft an edge rusher in the 5th round too, Joshua Joseph out of Tennessee. So hopefully we got at least 1 or 2 guys that are going to make an impact right away, kind of like how the Bears do, kind of like how the Ravens do. I'm talking about we need guys right away to make an impact. I think Sonny Styles is one of those guys. And hopefully Antonio Williams on the offensive side of the ball is one of those guys that we can kind of return to how things are looking for us in 2024. But wonder what y'all thoughts are on this. Mike, you got any thoughts on the Commanders and their draft this year?
I mean, they really 5 picks.
Yeah.
It's like, they need help. Like, they need help. They need help. They started out hot. Jaden Daniels was cruising. He was doing good, but ultimately, what everyone said was gonna happen happened. They was, he too small. He can't take those hits. He used his legs, and I hate for that to happen, for them to make it be true. But everybody fast in the NFL. So but I do like what you did on the defensive side of the ball. Definitely I like what you did with the defensive side on the ball. But yeah, like y'all 7th round pick, y'all decided to get a quarterback from Rutgers. Like,
I ain't even mention him, Mike. I ain't even mention him.
I know, but like, gotta mention that. Like, come on, you couldn't find not one other somewhat gem. Like, that's what you settled on.
Yep.
Like,
You
I ain't
couldn't
got
get
no
another
words.
offensive lineman to bolster just to have another body to rotate.
Special team player,
Another
something.
run block tight end. A defense, like it could have been something there that you got a void that you could have used that pick on, and you only got 5 picks. So I mean, yeah, like me, I don't. Do I have to give him a grade?
You don't have to.
Yeah, because I don't think they should get a grade for this draft. Y'all, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, what can you do? That's why I didn't even mention the 7th round pick, the quarterback. When I saw that, I was like, okay.
No, I think Sonny Styles is gonna be like a cornerstone of that franchise, though. Like,
Lord, I hope so. Please.
if he's anything like he was in college, and I don't like Ohio State either, but they do produce good. They do produce good football players.
Yeah,
you can't take it away from them, especially linebackers. So,
Brandon, what about you? You got any thoughts on our draft for the Commanders?
yeah, man, 100% with y'all on that Sunny Style selection, man. I texted you right after it happened, man. I think he'll be an early impact player. We talk about a guy that he just looks like he's a football player. You know what I'm saying? If you look at his profile picture, man, got that wide neck. He looks serious, man. He looked like a defender. He looked like a linebacker for sure. 6'4", 243 pounds, athletic, sideline to sideline. I know one of the comparisons I saw on TV was Fred Warner with the San Francisco 49ers. They was comparing him to. So if he could be a fraction of that for y'all, as you mentioned with the linebacker issues y'all had last year, and probably for a couple of years, because I've been talking about it for a while too, that'll definitely help. And one guy can help an entire defense. One guy can help an entire unit. Even from a morale standpoint, be like, okay, man, we got somebody we could lean on, we could rely on. So maybe that'll be him. I also like the wide receiver out of Clemson, man, Antonio Williams. Y'all got heard he's a good pass blocker, physical, quick release. He can win consistently. I got some film for him later. I'm gonna drop in the show as well. But yeah, it'd be good to see if y'all can get somebody consistent opposite Scary Terry, because as you mentioned, the whole Debo situation last year that didn't work out the way that that y'all originally planned to. And I think part of it was at the beginning of the season, him and Terry were banged up, but yeah, it just did not work out the way you wanted to. The McCaffrey, I like him, but he wasn't consistent either. So we definitely need somebody out there that can be on the other side and take some of that pressure off of Terry McLaurin and make you all, get you all up with at least 2 of the other teams in the NFC East as far as top receivers rooms. Dallas has CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens pending, of course, and then the Eagles. They technically right now have 3 on the roster with Lemon, the rookie, AJ Brown pending again, and Devontae Smith. So yeah, if y'all can get somebody to help out Scary Terry, it'll definitely be fun to see.
Yeah, and the Giants, they got Malik Neighbors. I know he coming off a knee
injury. Yeah, one-man wrecking crew.
Neighbors before
he's amazing.
He was balling out there. I do want to say, I do think if you combine our draft, what we did in free agency, because we did make a lot of moves in free agency.
Yeah,
picked up a few defensive ends. We picked up a safety, Nick Cross. He came from the Colts too. I do think if you combine our draft with our free agency moves, it does make it a little better. But I do agree with you, Mike, as far as just the draft alone, just a number of picks ahead, and then the quarterback selection in our last round, it was kind of a weak draft, but I think it was more of these first 2 picks, maybe these first 3 picks are going to be knockouts for us, and then we just shoot at the board maybe, or these are guys we want to develop further down the line in our later picks, but we'll see. But I do think overall draft pick wise, combined with the free agencies, it was a strong off season for us.
Yeah, if you combine everything you did in free agency.
Yeah.
But
all right, we're gonna get into the Baltimore Ravens draft recap now. Brian, I definitely want to hear your thoughts. We were texting about the owner and a pick he was able to pick. But let's get into it, man. What are your thoughts?
That's exactly where I'm gonna start. Best owner in football, in my opinion. Of course, I'm biased, man. Because our owner, he kind of just lets his guys that he hire do their thing. They do got to report back to him with big decisions, but he lets them do their thing. So apparently, with some sort of bet agreement with him and EDC, our general manager, that Steve Bisciotti could make a selection. He said Eric DeCosta said in the press conference after, he was like, I didn't tell him when he could make his selection, but he could make a selection. Ended up being the Clemson running back, I believe, was in the fifth round, Adam Randall. And, I think Bashotti was really focused on character guys because he said I think, kind of scouted 200 and some players, and this guy Randall came up at number 3. So I'm hoping that Randall performs, not just because I'm a Ravens fan, but more so because the pressure is going to be on him. Imagine being a rookie minicamp or training camp later this summer and seeing Adam Randall. They're going to pick on him because they'll be like, oh, he's the owner's boy, this and that. So the vets are going to have some fun. And you know who's going to do? Watch. What? Don't forget that it's going to be Marlon Humphrey because he like to start shit with guys anyway, have, FaceTime live feeds on the damn plane heading home off a loss. And Lamar Jackson got on it for that a couple times. So watch it. It's gonna be Marlon Humphrey, gonna be one of the main ones up in his face, telling about some older owner selecting this and that. But yeah, shout out to Adam Randall, shout out to our general manager and owner there. But yeah, 2 guys I'm most excited about that we selected, and one guy was undrafted, was a center, Nick Dawkins, and the guard. First time I'm actually saying his name aloud, Vega Ione. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing his name right because, to be honest with y'all, I'm gonna get on this later. The fan standpoint, like you mentioned, Mike, the fan in me wanted a different player, and I'm gonna say his name in a few minutes because he was more of that. He was more of that. Gonna be the playmaker. He was gonna be the spark. You know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, I know every Ravens fan know that this offensive line was atrocious last year, especially in the interior side, uh, not including Tyler Linderbaum, who got paid to go to the Raiders. Man, it was both of our guards, man, Voorhees and Falele. But both these guys I just mentioned, Nick Dawkins, Vega Ione, they went to Penn State. They played together. So I'm hoping that there's a way that Nick, because we know Ione's going to be a starter. You don't draft a guy that high. Usually your first round picks are starters, unless you like the Los Angeles Rams, who got a quarterback, and you got Matthew Stafford. He's going to be sitting. But most of these first round picks are going to be starters. So I'm hoping that Nick Dawkins can start at center, make his way up in the ranks, perform well. We got a couple free agents that we picked up from other teams. They're probably in their mid to late 20s. I want to go with the young guy and see what he can do there with Lamar Jackson. And then looking at the remainder of the picks, man, we honestly addressed every glaring issue, man, that we had with these I'm about to mention, man. The second round edge rusher, Zion Young. We had wide receiver selections back to back in the third and fourth round. A tight end with our second pick in the fourth. Of course, we lost both our second and third string tight ends, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kohler, in free agency. We got a corner right after that. Y'all know I want Marlon Humphrey gone, so maybe he can be a guy to step in his place. Of course, the Adam Randall selection there. He'll probably be replacing Keaton Mitchell. We get him in every now and then on third down, be the flashy type guy, catch the ball out of the backfield like Keaton Mitchell did. Another tight end right before the Randall selection, a punter. I was a little shocked about that one because we had just signed a second-year guy a couple weeks before the draft to replace Jordan Stout. So that's going to be something to watch in training camp as well. Who wins that punting competition? And then we wrap things up with another edge rushing offensive lineman. Man, 11 picks in all. 4 of those, I believe, were compensatory picks that we highly value in Baltimore. But yeah, the player that I wanted at 14 that was still on the board, and Ed, you know this, was Ruben Bain. Because we know just as bad as the interior offensive line was for Baltimore, the other side of the trenches, the defensive line, we had absolutely no push. We had no pass rush. Our leading sack man was Draymond Jones, who went to the Patriots, but he had 4.5 sacks of the time he was traded from Tennessee. So technically, our leading sack man was Mike Green with 2. It was terrible last year. Of course, the whole Matt Crosby thing, didn't pan out. We ended up getting Trey Henderson. We know he's a closer. We know he's been doing it pretty much his entire career by himself for the most part up there in that Cincinnati defense. So it'll be fun to see. But yeah, I would have loved to see Ruben Bain there with Trey Henderson. You got Nandi Matabikwe, hopefully making his way back. Travis Jones, Mike Green heading into his second year, and then Zion Young. If we had gotten him, if we had selected Ruben Bain the first round, probably wouldn't have ended up with Zion Young. But he's in Tampa Bay now. Ruben Bain. I'm rooting for him. What I'm not excited about, and I'm sure y'all probably seen some of the memes online, is this undrafted free agent out of Vanderbilt quarterback. Like Ed said, he didn't want to talk about the quarterback, but I'm gonna talk about this one, Diego Pavia, and I'm probably not even pronouncing his name right, man. They got
I
memes
think
of
you got it.
Derrick Henry carrying him like he's a baby. They got memes of him pulling up in one of them little tight cars to mini camp because we had mini camp earlier this week, man. It's just I don't understand it. We had quarterback issues last summer, but I think we fixed it. Underneath Lamar Jackson, of course, because we re-signed Tyler Snoop Huntley to a 2-year deal. We got rid of Cooper Rush. He was the main part of the problem last season. So again, from the mental standpoint, I kind of understand it because they bought in him and another undrafted free agent, but I don't understand it because this guy kind of had like that. I don't really like the divas. I don't really like the guys that bring attention to my team. I just want to go out there and win. You know what I'm saying? I want the guys to have fun and everything, but from the fan standpoint of me, I don't want any extra drama with our team. We got enough issues right now. Transition to head coach, got a new offense coordinator, new defensive coordinator. We got enough with that. But then they went out and bought this guy in who's probably going to have some cameras on him. Obviously, it was a big story on ESPN.com or ESPN yesterday and today about Jesse Minter, the head coach, telling Diego that he just wants him to be him, or he wants him to do something shit like that. And I'm just like, here we go. Like that's all we need. But yeah, pressure's definitely on this rookie class, man. With all the free agents we lost, man, half of them went up to New York, obviously with John Harbaugh. So I'm not going to say I'm as confident as I was last year with our draft class because that class didn't pan out in a sense. I think Malachi Starks had some issues on the back end. Of course, Mike Green, he didn't perform as well as he did his senior year in college, and a couple other guys that got injured in the later rounds last year. But yeah, we've got to be able, these rookies between the rookies that we selected and the undrafted free agents, which we always usually hit home on a couple of those. The pressure is definitely on these guys, man, because there's a lot of big holes that people aren't talking about because we have the guys like my guy here, Kyle Hamilton. We got Lamar Jackson. It's taken away from some of the glaring holes that we have right now, question marks heading into training camp and everything a couple months from now. But I'll give us a C plus if I had to. I think let's see. We got Ed. What are your thoughts on our draft?
Yeah, man. I say every year, y'all usually find a guy in one of them later rounds. I think a couple years ago it was Keaton Mitchell. He looked like he was gonna take off before that. I think he blew his knee out late in the year. That kind of derailed him. But maybe Adam Radham is that guy, 6th-round pick. I think I texted you an article saying like y'all owner hired like a SEAL team 6 member to do some background on him, try to figure out what his character and everything is about. And hopefully he nailed that pick. But y'all usually find a guy in the later rounds who turns out to be impact player right away, or maybe later in the season y'all find him. So maybe that's Adam Randall. Maybe it's this punter y'all got in the 7th round. I know you said Jordan Stout, right? Or maybe I got his last name.
Big loss.
He's probably like y'all best player other than Lamar Jackson. So maybe he can win that punting battle and become the next, Stout. But I do think y'all probably got a good one on the 1st-round draft pick with Vega, the guard out of Penn State. Like you said, y'all offensive line was giving Lamar Jackson hell a lot last season. Wonder what your boy thinks about this draft. I think you said he wanted a guard too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk to you a little later about that. But I do think I was kind of surprised with the back-to-back wide receiver draft picks, Jacoby Lane. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him out of USC. And then 4th round, y'all get Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana. So I'm wondering, are these guys going to be immediate starters? I feel like y'all, passing game, I always could have got a little bit more out of it. Maybe it wasn't the weapons. I always talk about, man, D-Hop. I feel like y'all could have used him more, but how that worked out. I do think these guys coming in Jacoby Lane, they'll get some more juice for Lamar Jackson. And that's another thing. I think Lamar Jackson probably loved this draft. You got him a guard, somebody's gonna protect him.
Yeah.
You got him a few weapons. You got 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back. This is a bunch of weapons for Lamar Jackson to use. So he's probably real ecstatic about this draft, at least from a potential standpoint. So we'll see how it goes. But like you said, the cornerback y'all got out of Duke, Chandler Rivers. I feel like that could be another guy. I mean, y'all GM Eric DeCosta and of course Isaac Newsom. I want to give a shout out to Isaac Newsom.
Yeah.
Probably in more of the background this time, but y'all always find a guy or two in each draft. It could be undrafted free agent too, or it could be later on pick, like I said, Keaton Mitchell. But y'all always find a guy somehow, some way to make impact plays this upcoming season. So I wonder who's going to be for you in this draft. And then y'all find a guy every now and then. That Kyle Hamilton pick, I say it all the time. I think he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. You get another couple more All-Pro type of seasons of him, he'll definitely be on that Hall of Fame trajectory. So I am curious to see how this draft class will work out for y'all. But I do think Vega, Ione, Jacoby Lane, I do think those guys are going to have some impact on the field right away. We'll see how Zion Young looks. For some reason, y'all, the last few years, y'all failed to find a guy in the draft that, I thought Mike Green could be a potential defensive rookie of the year. I was wrong with Sale. It's still early, but you still can. But for some reason, that edge rusher position, D-line, y'all have some bad luck out there with it. But maybe I just said, late round picks, Rashawn Benny, defensive tackle out of Michigan, go blue. 7th round pick. Maybe he can be one of those guys that they be like, damn, we need to put this guy on the field. He's killing for us, and you never know. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think y'all gonna have a guy in this draft that will have immediate impact. And I think Lamar Jackson is very happy with y'all draft. Mike, you got any thoughts on the Ravens draft, man?
I mean, well, don't tell anybody, but I am actually a Ravens fan.
I got you.
Like growing up, I loved the Ravens. Ed Reed was my favorite player. Ray Lewis was a close second. Loved Terrell Suggs. Like I just always loved the Ravens, what their organization stood for. That they won championship based off defense. Like I just, I like the Ravens, but I like to see they draft. It's like they getting back where they had 11 picks and they secured their trenches up. Like they got a bunch of blue collar football players. They didn't get any like super flashy players. They didn't get divas. They went and got guys who gonna come to work and do their job. And sometimes it's all you need is somebody just to come to work and just do their job. Honestly, you said they've been having bad luck with the edge rushers. I like Zion Young. Like I think he has great upside, great potential. You can move him around a little bit. He's not a guy you can just stick on the edge, or he can put his hand in the ground. He can come off the edge. So I think he'll be. I think he might be that gem, and they actually gonna hit on their early round picks with him. But I just like you said, I wish they would have drafted a defensive tackle though, to secure up the other side of the ball. Because they couldn't. I think one of us could at least rush for about 40 yards on them last year.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like seriously, like
you're right.
They couldn't stop the run at all. You just run the ball on them. People did to them what they did to everybody else for years.
Yeah,
we'll just run the ball on them because they can't stop it. But I mean, 11 picks, like you said, back-to-back wide receivers. Lamar happy. He got a couple new toys to play with. He got somebody that's gonna protect him. Overall, I give them like a B. Yeah, I get a Ravens a B. I think they got a lot of guys that's not big names or super flashy, but I think they will. I think they're gonna turn out to be some names to be remembered.
2 more points, man. It's funny, Mike, you mentioned Terrell Suggs because he was probably the last edge rusher that we developed and panned out. You know what I'm saying, 100%. Because everybody else since then, maybe Matthew Judon, he was pretty good. But
I like
What's that?
I said I like Matthew Judon.
Oh yeah, Matthew Judon, he developed too. He wasn't
Yeah.
as prominent as big of an impact as Terrell Suggs, but Judon was good. I would say those two were the last two because everybody else since then, man, David Ajobo, Adafe Owe. Besides, he had one good season before we traded him. Everybody else has not. Mike Green, I know the jury's still out on him, but everybody else has not really panned out from. And some people could probably say, okay, well, what I'm saying, you complaining for no reason because we honestly developed so many good players at other positions. Kyle Hamilton, corners were pretty good at developing linebackers over the years, offensive linemen for the most part, especially tackles. We always been good at that. Wide receiver, a little iffy, you know what I'm saying? Tight ends for sure, running backs. But for some reason, we've just not been able to develop edge rushers. And hopefully that changes this year. It also helps to have in, again, a veteran presence like Trey Henderson. He's won a sack title before. He knows what it takes. From an endurance standpoint, maybe that'll make a difference. So
do you feel like Trey Henderson, he has to feel like he has something to prove?
Who's that?
Cincinnati, he has to feel like he got something
Trey,
to prove.
yeah.
Cincinnati played with him, act like they didn't want to play.
Yep.
And then you land in the same division.
In the division, yep.
So it's like I feel like, he gonna be a different animal this season.
I
honestly feel that.
If Trey Henderson don't do nothing this year, he needs to show up against Joe Burrow because we all know what Joe Burrow has been able to do against us. And then plus it'll be get back for him, man. We got to have somebody to get after Joe Burrow, man. He lights us up every game.
Like every
in the damn warm-ups, he lights us up. Like this damn bad.
Joe light everybody up every game, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, everyone, let's switch gears to the biggest surprise and draft reach from the 2026 NFL draft. We'll start with you, Mike.
Well, what's crazy is this is how I even ended up doing this today. Is a lot of people feel away. I feel like the biggest surprise in draft weeks was the Rams when they drafted Ty Simpson. And it's a lot of people. I call Ed. I messaged Ed on Facebook like, cuz you need to call me. I got to talk to somebody about this. Because there was so many people who I heard that were like, basically like they was bashing the Rams for drafting him. And it was like, me, you have an MVP caliber quarterback. You have a Super Bowl contender team. But Matthew Stafford can't play football forever. Sure. So why not? If you see you got a guy that you believe in, and you can get him now, and you can develop him, you don't have to just throw him to the wolves like all these other, first-round quarterback draft picks. You throw him to the wolves with a garbage offensive line, no offensive weapons, and then everybody just, he's no good, and just throw him to the garbage. No, you get a time, you can develop him. He can sit behind his veteran quarterback, one of top. Where we put Matthew Stafford, top 15,
top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10,
top 10
yeah, like easy. So he gets to sit behind him for another year or two, develop. And every quarterback that I've ever seen do that has been successful.
Yeah.
Every organization that has done that has been able to have success. Because if you got a franchise quarterback and fundamental pieces around them, you could kind of figure the rest out. In today's NFL, you can microwave some stuff real quick. It's not like you just got to get lucky in the draft. If you just one of those organizations where you got a quarterback and you say, hey, we got the fundamentals, but we need a big push now, we'll give you our 2072 first-round draft pick for whatever. Like they giving out picks in 20 years from now.
Yeah.
So it was like, to me, I felt it was responsible for the organization. Everybody was saying they should have got another weapon for Matthew Stafford because the wide receiver core is kind of thin in LA. And it is. But in that same token, you could get one guy, maybe make a push for this year, and then be like the Pittsburgh Steelers, where you swinging these home runs, you missing, and now you've been having a franchise for the better part of 10 years without a quarterback. Because you trying to play catch up on everything else. Like, come on, man. Like, Mason Rudolph was the starting quarterback for how many years? And it was like, why?
I loved
But
it, me personally.
yeah, but it was when Ben Roethlisberger was still, he was Bobby Wagner, like Eddie said. Yeah, you were a good player.
Yep.
Word. So when they seen that Ben was starting to take his downslide, they should have drafted a quarterback that they could have developed, and they wouldn't have had those issues. I applaud the Rams for doing that. They got this new beautiful penthouse of a stadium. They just got off. They just won a Super Bowl in the past years. They still got good fundamental pieces. Why not prepare yourself for the future? Like, I don't feel like it was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And they couldn't trade it because the Rams, everybody leaves that off. They tried to trade the spot back so somebody else could draft Ty and get compensated with more picks on the back end, but then nobody wants the spot. So they was kind of forced to just say, well, all right, well, we going to take them. So, but yeah, that was my biggest reach and surprise. That was my biggest surprise because I didn't think they would have did it either. I thought they would have got something shiny from Matthew Stafford.
yeah. I agree with you. I thought Ty Simpson. I think we texted Brandon about that. I was like, "Yo, that's probably the biggest surprise for me."
Yep.
I'm also, because now that I think about it, I gotta, even though he's probably the best player in this draft, I do think the Cardinals drafting the running back Jeremiah Love was kind of a surprise / reach for me because they still got James Conner, even though
Yep.
he is injured now. He's been injured the last couple years. But I believe they also, if I'm not mistaken, they picked up Tyler Algier. He used to play for the freaking Falcons, but he's with the Cardinals now. If y'all remember his rookie year, he rushed for 1,000 yards. They kind of doing the same thing they're doing to him now. They drafted my boy Bijan Robinson, so that kind of limited his production. But Tyler Algier, I think, is a pretty good back. So I was kind of surprised that they picked him up. But I mean, like I said, I do think he's probably the best player, like overall in the draft, even though the running back position is devalued. Guys, a lot of people think, oh, we can get somebody in the 6th round, they can just come there. You don't find too many Saquon Barkleys out there, and that's who I've been hearing. He reminds me of. So we'll see how it goes. But I was like, oh, after I was looking at the Cardinals roster and like seeing who they already have and seeing maybe they could have got Ty Simpson because they I know I like the Kobe Brissett, but he gets hurt a lot. Trying to think who else they got on the roster as far as quarterback, but that now that Kyler Murray's gone, they definitely need. I think they got Gardner Minshew or somebody, but they definitely need somebody else to in the future for that quarterback position. So I thought maybe that's something they could address, but maybe next year. So Jeremiah Love for me was kind of a surprise to me considering who they got in the backfield already, but we'll see how it goes. Now they got Marvin Harrison, even though they got Trey McBride. They got a couple of foundational pieces on the offensive side of the ball. So this could be another one. So it probably will work out for him too. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I think the biggest draft reach for me, just the position, the number he was selected was Ty Simpson. I understand the aspect. Again, I agree with you, Mike, and everything, but just the position. Now, you mentioned the fact that nobody wanted to trade out, which is crazy because apparently at 14, I don't know how true it was, a team called us and wanted to trade and then trade up, but then they kind of fell through right at the last minute. So people was like, oh, it's karma for the whole Max Crosby situation. Yeah. So if a team didn't want to trade up to 13, why would they want to trade to 14? I didn't hear about that, but that's very interesting. Did not know that they was trying to trade down. Now, again, if they were able to trade down at any point, I would say from like 16 on down, the Rams and selected Ty Simpson, then I'll be like, okay, that's not a reach. But I think where they were, I think a Lemon, Makai Lemon, I think that's the name that went to Philly. That would have been a viable option for him. I mean, for them. The biggest issue for them last year in the playoffs was the cornerback position. I know they got Trent McDuffie. And I think they shipped 3 of their corners out, if I'm not mistaken, LA, because of that, the issues they had. Perhaps a corner there at 13. But yeah, I understand the aspect of getting that quarterback for the future, letting them sit and develop. I definitely understand that. It's just the selection, the number that they were in the draft. And then the biggest surprise for me, I mentioned Ruben Bain dropping to 15 to Tampa Bay, man.
Yeah.
Word on the street was he had little arms. you could say what you want to about that, but there's two things that you need in this league to win is a quarterback and somebody to sack the quarterback. And he's one of those guys that can get after the quarterback. I think he'll definitely be one of the best edge rushers for Tampa Bay since Gerald McCoy. And speaking of Gerald McCoy, he's been vocal on NFL Network the last couple of years of how bad that pass rush has been for Tampa Bay. They tried Hassan Reddick down there via trade, I think, with the Eagles. That didn't work. They had somebody else last year. I can't remember. It was a veteran guy that didn't work out. But yeah, seeing Ruben Bain drop that far was really surprising for me. So yeah, Ruben Bain and Ty Simpson, biggest surprise in draft reach, in my opinion. Okay. How about let's talk about the team that had the best draft overall. Ed kind of touched on it a minute ago. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Call me crazy, but you land a guy like Jeremiah Love. I'm a big James Conner fan. Don't get me wrong. I love me some James Conner. I got respect for him from when he was in Pittsburgh. But you got a guy that can a freak of an athlete out there. His coach, man, Marcus Freeman, talked about him at the pro day, man, just how viable he is and how they're going to have difficulties replacing him there at Notre Dame. Then they get a guard out of Texas A&M in the second round, chased by Basontis. I probably pronounced his name wrong, but he's physical, violent, great run blocker. We know Arizona has some issues on the offensive line. And then my sleeper at quarterback out of all the guys that were selected, Carson Beck in the third round. I'm a little biased. He's out of the U, my college football team, but he works through his progressions well. I know he's still developing his ability to walk off safeties, but he has experience in big games, man. I think he can overtake Jacoby Brissett and even Gardner Minshew. I mean, because Gardner Minshew, we've seen him play lately. Besides Jacksonville, he ain't really been that much. I think he can overtake both of them there. And then they added Southeastern Louisiana defensive tackle Caleb Proctor, the fourth round. I think he'll take the place of Calais Campbell, coming off 6.5 sacks. They got to replace him. He left, obviously, just signed with Baltimore. And then the last notable player for them, Reggie Virgil out of Texas Tech, wide receiver. We need somebody, if you're a Cardinals fan, you need somebody that can do more than just Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison when he decides to have a big game there, man. You got this guy, Virgil, light on his feet, can run any route, man. Strong hands, good body control. So that'll be something to need, something to see. And plus, they got a LaFleur out there calling plays on offense now as the head coach. I think he'll have some options for these young guys that they drafted, especially on the offensive side of the ball there at Arizona. But Mike, who do you think had the best team draft overall?
I think Cleveland, man.
Yeah, they did. I gotta agree. Yeah, unfortunately.
Cleveland did their thing, man. It's like what you said earlier is like what the Ravens did. They fixed every problem that they had. Yeah. Like like you said, the guy that just went to Tampa Bay,
Ruben Bain.
They got a lot of Ruben Bains. Like they got a lot of people that they weren't supposed to be able to get where they got them in the draft. I don't know how, what happened, but like they hit on, like they got
wide receivers, man.
What's the offensive tackle out of Utah?
Look him up.
Spencer Fano. Fano is how you say it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like he can start now.
Yeah.
He protects the pass at amazing. He picks up rushers. Like he got big hands, strong. Like he can anchor on offensive line as a rookie right now. I believe he could do that. They got the wide receiver from North Carolina State. What was his name?
Concepcion.
Yeah, Concepcion.
And then Boston right after.
Man, listen. It's like every time he touched the ball, it's like, is it gonna be a touchdown? Like he gives you, like he scares defenses. Like this is a guy that you have to pay attention to when you lined up across. So it's like, and they had a lot of picks. Like Cleveland, I think they did good. I mean, they really couldn't do any worse than what they've been doing, but I feel, I mean, hey, we gonna tell the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, they really still who gonna be their quarterback, what's gonna happen with Shador, Gabriel Dillon, like what was it, like Dillon Gabriel, like where, because eventually one of those two are gonna end up somewhere. And I feel a lot of that is predicated on what these guys that they drafted, how many of those guys hit is going to predicate what they're going to want for one of these two quarterbacks. Because what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing is that Deshaun Watson making the push to get his job back.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So it's like they still paying him. So if he making the push to get his job back, all his money hits. So it's like it makes sense. Like they almost have to put him on the field. So what you gonna do with these other two guys? So I'm just interested. That's really my biggest story I want to see this year too, as well. Because me personally, I believe in Shador, and I want to see what he could do if given a chance. But in that same token, if you losing out to these other guys in your own building, is it talent? Is it something that we don't know? But as far as the draft go, boy, Shador getting too deep in that, I feel like Cleveland definitely they definitely got a lot of gems out the draft.
Yeah. And that defense for the Browns,
Man,
Yep.
that's gonna
that
be
defense.
nasty.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, Brandon knows a lot about him, but
Yeah.
Man, that defense,
I got a lot of respect for him.
They've been had a solid defense.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has been keeping Cleveland alive the past 5, 6, 7 years and keeping them even relevant is them on the defensive side of the ball. But
100%.
I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with Shador.
I think too. All right, y'all. For me, this might be a little bit surprising, but I think the Dolphins might have had the best draft. The Ravens had 11 picks overall. The Dolphins had 13 picks overall. And I think 6 of their picks are in the top 100. So I know for them, they want all 6 to hit, but I'm thinking at least 3 we're going to hit. They went, foundational piece, tackled out of Alabama in their first pick, Caden Proctor. And they had another first round pick, cornerback Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. But I don't know, man. They got Malik Willis coming over. They brought in the one of the player personnel, front office type guys from Green Bay over. So it's kind of looking like the Miami Packers a little bit because they brought a couple of guys from Green Bay with them too, starting with Malik Willis. So we're going to see how it looks. But I just think the number of picks they have, hell, at least 2 or 3 of them got to hit. At least one of them, I think this guy, the lineman they drafted the first round, their first pick, Caden Proctor should do good. They traded Dallas for that guy too, and got him. So I'm thinking that'll be a foundational piece for the offensive line. They got my guy, the speedster in the backfield for them. Name escapes me at the moment, running back for the Dolphins. But I do think they got a couple of pieces. They did lose a lot. Tyreek Hill, he unfortunately that knee injury that happened to him, he's gone now. You saw Tua, he's out of there. He's in Atlanta now. So they got some holes to fill, but I think they filled a lot of them. A lot on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball. They drafted a wide receiver in the 3rd round, Caleb Douglas out of Texas Tech. And then they got a guy tight end out of Ohio State, Will Kakmarek. We'll see how he does out there. But they just got a lot of picks in this draft, man, along with what they did in free agency, bringing in Malik Willis, who I think proved last year. He played well against y'all, Brandon. No offense, but he had a couple games.
I told you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Humphrey
they had a revenge game against the Titans where he played well, but yeah, man, don't be surprised if the Dolphins don't stink as much as people probably expect them to next year. I think the Dolphins probably had the best draft just because they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of their picks were in the first 2 days. The first the first 2 days of the draft, the first through 5th round. So that's a lot of picks. And them, first couple of rounds, those first 5 rounds where, could be starters, could be depth pieces, not just developmental guys down the line, but coming in and making an impact right away. So give me the Dolphins as the best team draft so far this year.
Quick question. Brandon, what's your beef with Marlon Humphrey, man? I gotta know. I gotta know.
My guy talked too damn much, and on his focus on his podcast. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I
You can't hate
understand
on the man podcast.
they humans. They gotta have lives too. But he focused too damn much on that podcast, and every time we lose a game, he going live after the game on the plane and shit. Okay, getting in Lamar's face, getting in Derrick Henry's face, getting this player, the X player, that player. Okay, you should be in the damn, on your tablet watching film after especially after a loss, the way you got beat up last year. Okay, and then the season before, remember I told you Ed a couple times it was against the Raiders. I want to say week 2. I know the Raiders have been terrible anyway, but they came back and beat us, and he was damn near the reason why. Okay, so the fans were heckling him outside of M&T Bank Stadium, outside of Raven Stadium. His ass started walking this way, and they sitting there messing with him, so he go this way. They confused the hell out of him. But man, Marlon is a good slot corner. Don't get me wrong; he one of the best slot corners in football. But him on the outside, boy, he done got, man, Jamar Chase done got his ass, man. DK Metcalf done got his ass. You name it, they done got him. And I know it's hard defending
like that's part
Jamar
of his
Chase.
game.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's time to slowly move on from him. I was honestly surprised they didn't try to trade him for the draft anyway, or before the draft. Because we got, what's his name? Nate Wiggins, who's starting to develop into one of the better corners in the league. I think TJ Tampa has a little bit more speed than Marlon does at this point in his career. And we got a couple other young guys that I think are slowly going to start making their way up. But yeah, if he starts doing that same shit again this year, man, it's a lot of Ravens fans that don't like him, especially online. They say the same thing to me, man. He focused too damn much on his podcast, and the performance on the field ain't that good. Like you look at Travis Kelce, man, besides last year, he was on his podcast every week. And there's other players like that too, still performing well. So of course, that's the first thing we gonna do and criticize them for, is that when you promote that more. And he's even said it on Facebook, man, because I follow him on Facebook. He's like, yeah, man, if I get off my podcast and focus on my play, I think he's trolling us Ravens fans when he say that. But if he 100% right, man, if you get off that damn podcast and play, then I'm all right. If you have yourself a good game, and I know every game ain't gonna be good. You're gonna get burnt some games. You're gonna get, out physical in some games. But honestly, we need him to be that veteran presence, like Kyle Hamilton all over the place. Roquan Smith. We need him, especially this year with changing of a defensive play caller. Still got some questions on that front side. We need Marlon Humphrey to show up and be the Marlon that we drafted him out of Alabama. Be the guy that he was his first 2 or 3 seasons. It's been a slow decline. Again, really good slot corner, but
in
outside,
his play or his
behavior? In his play. On the outside. When he got to play on the outside, it's a liability. But if he line up a slot corner, or if he's with the guy in motion and he end up on the outside, it's game over. No, he's gonna get beat. He had to play. Ed mentioned Malik Willis. Malik Willis had a bootleg to the right. Marlon was the last line of defense. He went whoop and gone. Malik Willis gone to the house, man. 6. We did end up beating them, but still, I think we got, TJ Tampa could step up into his position. There's a couple other guys too that can. As far as the outside corner, he's definitely not our top corner anymore. I think Nate Wiggins is. If Nate Wiggins put a little bit more muscle on, he gonna be nice. He got out physical by DK Metcalf and your boy Roma Dunze. He had a good game against Marlon.
But out muscle by you can't put getting out muscle by DK Metcalf against him.
Yeah, true.
That's like,
but Marlon got some size on him.
Receivers, man.
Marlon got some size on him.
You ever seen DK Metcalf with his shirt off, man?
Yeah, good point.
Man, would you want to run up like?
Oh hell no, he beat the hell out of me.
Derrick Henry one time. They said, man, how is Derrick Henry so successful? He asked me, he said, have you ever seen him in person? He said, yeah, one time. He said, yeah, would you want to tackle him running at you full speed? What you mean? Is he successful? Look at him.
Yeah. I understand.
Man.
All right. real quick, y'all. I know this is a NFL show. I kind of want to get to NBA a little bit because the playoff is on right now. Thank you, Philadelphia Sixers, for beating the Boston Celtics last night.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I hate all Boston. So, Mike, what's wrong, Mike? Mike, what's wrong? You a Celtics fan? My man. Right. Hold on, Mike. Don't tell me you got Celtics fan. What we doing?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. All right.
Who that?
Mike, what's up, baby? Man, I'm so glad. I am so glad the 76ers won last night. You do not know how bad it goes back, Mike, for me. It goes back to all the way to the early 2000s when the Celtics beat my boy Allen Iverson in the playoffs. They knocked him out. I think it was like 2002. I hated the Celtics since then, so I'm not just new to this. I've been on this for a while. So thank you, 76ers, for beating the Celtics last night. I loved it. We got a couple of game sevens tonight. We got the Raptors and the Celtics, and we got Pistons and the Magic. I think both of those games going to be good. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Pistons. And then the Raptors, Celtics, man. Excuse me.
Raptors and Cavaliers.
Raptors, Cavaliers. Thank you. Raptors, Cavaliers, man. I don't know. Cavaliers should win. I don't know if Brandon Ingram was going to play, but I don't know. I'm not doubting the Raptors, honestly. And then leave it off at this for me. Kevin Durant is my favorite player. I know he got injured, and then the Rockets.
Sorry to hear that, man.
I'm just so disappointed in the Rockets. They, for some reason, if they get in the clutch time, it's like their brains start turning off, and they just play. I don't know. They just start doing the dumbest of things. That was the game 5 they lost. They was up 6 with like 30 seconds left to go, and they fuck around and lose that game off of this dumbness. And KD, the game he played in, he had like 20-something points, but he had 9 turnovers. It's like he never seen a double team before, and he just throw the ball. We're like, oh shit, I don't want this no more. Throw the ball away. So KD and the Rockets, man, I had a feeling they was gonna lose against the Lakers anyway, even if KD was healthy, just because how they was looking late in the regular season. They had a terrible game against the Timberwolves where it went to like overtime. They lost that game. And that was a game they was up by like 5 or like a minute left too, and they blew that game. So KD and the Rockets, yeah. But back to it. I know you're a Celtics fan. I didn't know that, but I see you're a Celtics fan now. But thank you, 76ers. Joel Embiid, salute. Tyrese Maxey, salute. Edgecombe, salute. I appreciate y'all. Mike, I'm gonna let you have the floor though, because I see you got the Celtics hats on. Your thoughts on the game last night?
I don't like Jason Tatum.
Really?
I don't. Because when it this is my take on Jason Tatum.
Uh-oh.
He's one of the best basketball players in the NBA. He tall, he light skinned, he handsome. He got the same girl from high school. Got the little son, Deuce. He the perfect face of the NBA, and they've been putting this narrative around him. And I feel like the media tries to make Jason Tatum be better than what he is in our eyes, so they could make him be the face of the NBA. That is Jaylen Brown's basketball team, who won Finals MVP. Every time we needed JT to step up in the playoffs, he looked this big. JB carried the Celtics to the playoffs by himself while Jason Tatum was hurt. In the perfect world, Jason Tatum goes to Milwaukee, Giannis comes to Boston. But last night is like
So you think he should have played last night? You think he should have played?
I feel Jason Tatum either should have just stayed out the lineup in totality and just got healthy for the rest of the season. Because I honestly felt like when he interjected himself, him being the face of the franchise, even though in my opinion he's not, but him being the face of the franchise, him being the golden boy, everybody wants to get him involved, and it kind of took them back out of the chemistry that they had developed amongst each other for the season. Like they wanted to almost put him back to where he was supposed to be, which I get it as a teammate. But you not Jason Tatum yet. Like you still better than 70% of the league, but this playoff time, man.
Right.
This playoff time. If you ain't ready, don't come back. We don't need you in the regular season. We need you for the playoffs. And if you're not ready, don't come back. I would prefer for him to just sat out for the duration of the season. Let Boston run their course with Jason Brown at the helm. And then we'll figure it out. Now you completely healthy next season. If it don't work in the beginning, we still got trade deadline. And we can send you to Milwaukee and go get Giannis. If it do work out, we go run it back and get another chip. But me personally, I don't have any faith in him. I don't like Jason Tatum. He never shows up in the playoffs. Never. He like James Harden. He go get the commercials. He gonna score all the buckets. He gonna do everything he need to do in the regular season. Come playoff time, he gonna defer to somebody else.
Wow.
You know.
I feel you. He well, every time he played against a team, he killed. But I know I do. I see what you saw. I see where you coming from. Damn.
Yeah.
All the big moments since they've been together was Jaylen Brown. Like those real series turning events. Like this play changed the momentum of this series. Those was all Jaylen Brown. Peyton Pritchard. Derek White. It was never Jason Tatum. It's never been Jason Tatum in this little what you would call, their run. In their little championship run. It's never been JT that had that defining factor, that moment. Like he might have he had a 50-point game in the playoffs, but Jaylen Brown had 35 and Derek White had 30. And y'all won by 40 points. So it wasn't that special. All those moments when somebody needed to be a superstar or stand up for the Celtics, it was never him. It's never.
All right, I just got one question. So if he played last night, do y'all think y'all would have won?
If he played if he played regular season, Jason Tatum showed up, we'd have won. But ain't no talent because it's like you never know what you're going to get out of Jason Tatum in the playoffs. He might have came out there and scored 12 points and 7 turnovers, or he might have came out and had 40.
Yeah.
It's like you never know what you're going to get with him. But it's just like, I don't know. I felt like he should have just never came back and messed up their continuity that they had going on. Because they went to the playoffs. Yeah. They was high seeded. They without him. He didn't play a role in them making it to the playoffs. So I'm not a fan. That's my Marlon Humphrey. I feel you.
What about you, Brandon? You got any thoughts on these playoffs so far?
Yeah, man. Surprised that Orlando pushed it as far as they did with Detroit. First of all, let me backtrack. I'm so glad, like Ed said about the Celtics being. I'm so glad the Warriors are not in it. Boy, I can't stand the Draymond Green. I respect Steph Curry. I ain't taking nothing from him, but I can't stand the Warriors as a squad, just a name. And Draymond Green, boy, I can't stand them. So I'm glad they're gone. Like OKC and San Antonio in the West, I want to see them both go far. Hopefully, make it to the West Finals. In the East, I really don't care who come out at this point. But yeah, very. I know the first thing I saw this morning. I didn't watch last night's game, but when I checked my phone this morning, saw that Philly had beat Boston. I said, I know Ed gonna have some words for them on my show because we had already talked about. We was gonna brief on the NBA playoffs, man. But Ed has no love lost for the Celtics, just like I have no love lost for the Warriors, man. It's been a good first round, crazy. Though, honestly.
What was that, Mike?
Joel Embiid was talking crazy to Jaylen Brown.
Oh yeah.
Game. Oh man, I hated it.
But I do think, Brandon, like you said, I feel like I don't know who can beat OKC. Maybe the Spurs. I still think they're a year away.
Yeah, I think they are.
But if they do meet up, Stephon Castle, their point guard for the Spurs, one of the point guards, if you notice, he'll turn the ball over a lot. I think that might bite them in the end. But I don't know who can beat OKC right now. We'll see. I think the Lakers gonna get the doors blown off of them, even with coming back. So I think they probably take them out in 4 games. But on the East side, I don't know. The Knicks probably now, but I don't know, man. The East is wide open to me. The
Yeah.
Pistons, if they can somehow get past Orlando, maybe. But I don't know, man. The East is gonna be. I don't know. Maybe
That's a question mark.
The playoffs was just disappointing this year. It was like all the superstars either didn't make it to the playoffs or hurt.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see Kevin Durant and LeBron in the epic battle in the first
Exactly,
round.
man.
You know, so like even though LeBron win, it's not the same because KD didn't play. You know, Ant-Man got hurt.
Yep.
Giannis not in the final. I mean, in the playoffs. Like, you know, it just Luka hurt, Austin Reeves. Like, it's just Wemby got hurt for a few games. Like, it just hasn't been really special. Like
But
the
Wolves,
nobody gonna be OKC 7 games, man. I hate to say it.
I don't see it. I think the Wolves had a chance, but they get banged up. I mean, the dude Ayo the Sumo, he hurt his calf. Dante DiVincenzo, he blew out his Achilles. I hope he can come back fully healthy next year or whenever he comes back. Like you said, Ant-Man, he week to week now. It's like, damn, man, they probably gonna get swept by the Spurs now. Or I think they play the Spurs, right? If they was fully healthy, I know Rudy Gobert ain't got nothing for Wemby, but he can, make him make some mistakes here and now. But they probably we'll see. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be another repeat for OKC. And they up there with no offense, Mike. They up there with the Celtics for me as far as teams I hate. I cannot stand OKC.
Hey, mark my word. Wemby is going to make Rudy Gobert look like a high school player.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah,
I definitely think so.
And the thing is, Wemby can shoot the basketball, so that's going to force Rudy Gobert to come out of the paint.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where he's not comfortable. So. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad for Rudy Gobert. Wemby a man.
that's he's one of the players I need to see play in person before he's done. He's another guy.
I do want to see how tall he really is,
dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see. But that's gonna do it for another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Everybody, I want to thank everybody who comes out or takes time out of their day to watch the show. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Just look for a B&E podcast, Breaking and Entering podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or X, however you want to call it, podcast B&E. Follow us on Instagram as well, B&E podcast. And Mike, appreciate you for coming and take some time out your day to join the show as well, man. Appreciate you. If you want to come back on anytime. The door's open, man. So appreciate that. Oh, real quick, boxing news. I like boxing and combat sports. David Benavidez last night, he beat the brakes off of Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. I think he's the cruiserweight champ now. I mean, he absolutely beat the dog shit out of that man. I kind of so salute to David Benavidez. He caught out Canelo Alvarez, but I doubt that fight's ever going to happen. So salute to David Benavidez last night. But yeah, y'all. That's another episode of Breaking Entering podcast. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.